What if everything you've been taught about happiness is wrong? What if chasing happiness is exactly what's making you miserable? According to Friedrich Nietzsche, one of history's most radical thinkers, happiness shouldn't be the goal. It's just a side effect of something far more powerful. And once you understand what that is, it changes everything. Most people hear the word power and immediately think of dominance, controlling others, forcing your will, becoming some kind of Machiavellian manipulator. But that's not what Nietzsche meant at all. In fact, he saw the desire to control others as a sign of weakness, not strength. The will of the weak to represent some form of superiority, he wrote, pointing out how those who try to dominate others are often covering up their own deep-seated feelings of inadequacy. Real power, according to him, is something entirely different. Think about a master musician perfecting their craft, or an athlete pushing past their limits, or a writer finding their authentic voice. That's the kind of power Nietzsche was talking about. Not power over others, but power over yourself. The power to grow, expand, and become more than you are. And what I love the most about his take is that it isn't just philosophical theory. Look at any great achievement in history. Einstein didn't develop relativity theory by trying to be happy. He was driven by an unstoppable urge to understand, to push the boundaries of what was possible. Marie Curie didn't discover radioactivity by seeking contentment. She was powered by an inner force to explore, to know, to master her field. When Nietzsche talked about power, he meant what he called self-overcoming, the ability to push past your current limitations and transform into something greater. It's not about destroying who you are, but about constantly evolving into who you could be. While most people chase happiness directly, trying to gather up pleasant experiences like collecting seashells on a beach, Nietzsche saw that true fulfillment comes from a completely different direction. Every time you master a new skill, overcome a challenge, or push past your comfort zone, you experience what Nietzsche called the feeling that power increases. And that feeling, he argued, is what real happiness actually is. Not the shallow contentment of comfort, but the deep satisfaction of growth. Think about your own life. When have you felt most alive, most fulfilled? Was it when you were sitting comfortably on your couch? Or was it when you accomplished something you weren't sure you could do? When you finally mastered that difficult skill? When you pushed through your fears and came out stronger on the other side? This is why so many people feel empty even when they have all the traditional markers of happiness. Money, comfort, pleasure. They're missing what Nietzsche identified as our deepest drive, the will to grow, to develop, to become more than we are. But if power, not happiness, is what we should pursue, how exactly do we do that? Nietzsche laid out a specific blueprint, and what he discovered about the role of resistance in personal growth might surprise you. So why is it that chasing happiness directly almost never works? Well, most people treat happiness like it's a destination. Somewhere they'll finally arrive once they get that promotion, find the perfect relationship, or reach some other goal. But Nietzsche saw through this illusion. Think of happiness like trying to catch your own shadow. The harder you run after it, the faster it moves away from you. The moment you make happiness your main goal, you've already lost it because you're focusing on the outcome instead of the process that creates it. Here's what most self-help books won't tell you. The happiest people aren't the ones who chase happiness. They're the ones who chase growth. They're not asking, what will make me feel good? But rather, what will make me stronger, better, more capable? Take someone learning to play an instrument. The process isn't always pleasant. There are frustrating practice sessions, embarrassing mistakes, moments of wanting to quit. If they were pursuing happiness, they'd give up at the first sign of discomfort. When they're pursuing power, the ability to master their instrument, those struggles become meaningful steps toward growth. Nietzsche noticed something interesting about human nature. We're not actually wired to be content. When we achieve a goal, the satisfaction is brief. Soon we're restless again, looking for the next challenge. Most people see this as a problem, but Nietzsche saw it as our greatest gift. Man is something that shall be overcome, he wrote. Every time we reach a new level, we're already looking toward the next one. This isn't a flaw in our programming, it's the feature that drives all human progress. The problem isn't that we're never satisfied. The problem is thinking we should be. Look at any field of human achievement. Science advances through constant questioning, never being satisfied with current explanations. Art evolves through artists pushing boundaries, never content with existing forms. Athletes break records by never settling for good enough. Many people go wrong by thinking that constant striving means they're doing something wrong, that they're somehow failing at being happy. They look at their restlessness as a problem to solve, rather than a force to harness. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how Nietzsche's blueprint turns this restless drive into your greatest strength. But first, you need to understand what he discovered about the surprising relationship between power and meaning. To build real power, every goal you set must meet 4 specific conditions. Miss any of these, and you'll end up chasing shadows instead of creating real growth. First, your goal must be meaningful and challenging. Not just difficult, meaningful. There's a crucial difference. Running a marathon might be challenging, but if it doesn't deeply matter to you, it won't build the kind of power Nietzsche talked about. The goal has to resonate with who you truly are, not who others think you should be. Second, it must promote genuine well-being, either yours or others. This isn't about morality, it's about sustainability. Goals that damage you or others create weakness in the long run, not power. Think of it like building a house. You need a solid foundation, not just impressive walls. Third, the goal must lead to excellence, not just improvement, excellence. Nietzsche wasn't interested in mediocrity or incremental gains. He believed each of us has the potential for greatness in our chosen field. Whether you're a parent, artist, entrepreneur, or teacher, your goal should push you toward mastery. Fourth, and this is crucial, the goal must be authentically yours, not your parents' dream for you, not society's expectation, not what looks good on Instagram. Your goal needs to come from your core truth, what Nietzsche called your innermost law. The obstacles you face aren't your enemies. They're your allies. Every resistance, every setback, every moment of doubt is actually an opportunity to build power. Think about weight training. The resistance of the weights isn't preventing you from getting stronger. It's the very thing making you stronger. Nietzsche saw that this principle applies to every area of life. The challenges you face aren't blocking your growth. They're essential to it. "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger," he famously wrote. But he meant something deeper than just surviving hardship. He meant that the process of overcoming resistance is exactly what creates power. Each obstacle overcome doesn't just get you past that obstacle. It transforms you into someone more capable. This explains why people who have everything handed to them often feel empty and weak. Without resistance, there's no growth. Without challenges, there's no transformation. The comfortable path leads to stagnation, not power. Knowing this isn't enough. You need to understand the specific cycle that turns challenges into power. And what Nietzsche discovered about this process reveals something surprising about how growth really works. Understanding how power grows is very important. It moves in cycles, not straight lines. He called this the eternal circle, and understanding it changes everything about how you approach challenges. Here's how the cycle works. First, you set a meaningful goal. You push toward it, meet resistance, and eventually overcome it. But instead of stopping there, satisfied with your achievement, you immediately set a larger goal. Each victory becomes a stepping stone, not a resting place. Think about a martial artist. They master one technique, only to immediately begin working on a more complex one. Or a scientist who solves one problem, only to find it opens up 3 more interesting questions. That's not a bug in the system. It's exactly how power grows. Most people get this wrong. They think once they achieve their goal, they'll finally be content. But Nietzsche saw that the most fulfilled people never settle for past achievements. As soon as they reach one peak, they're already looking at the next mountain to climb. "Whatever I create and however much I love it," Nietzsche wrote, "soon I must oppose it and my love." This isn't about being perpetually dissatisfied. It's about recognizing that growth is a never-ending process, not a destination. This is why so many successful people seem restless even after achieving their dreams. The millionaire seeks to become a billionaire. The champion athlete aims for another title. The accomplished artist starts a new challenging project. They've tapped into the natural cycle of power. The joy isn't in reaching the goal. It's in the process of growing toward it. When you understand this, everything changes. Suddenly, obstacles become opportunities. Challenges become invitations. Resistance becomes your ally in building power. Think about the most satisfying achievements in your life. Wasn't the journey itself more fulfilling than the moment of victory? Didn't you feel most alive during the struggle, not after it was over? That's because power grows through engagement with resistance, not through avoiding it. This explains why lottery winners often end up miserable, while people who build wealth gradually find lasting satisfaction. It's not about having power, it's about growing power. In today's world, how do we actually apply this cycle? What Nietzsche's insights reveal about modern life and the pursuit of power might surprise you. In our world of instant gratification and comfort seeking, Nietzsche's insights matter more than ever. Take social media. Most people use it to seek validation, chasing likes and followers, yet those pursuing power use it differently, as a tool for growth. They share their learning process, not just their victories. They engage with critics to sharpen their ideas, not to prove they're right. They turn the platform itself into a resistance to overcome. Or consider your career. The traditional path is to find a comfortable position and stay there. But those following Nietzsche's blueprint constantly seek new challenges. They volunteer for difficult projects. They learn skills outside their comfort zone. They see job security not as a goal, but as a potential trap that could prevent growth. Even in relationships, this principle applies. Many people avoid conflict, seeking peaceful coexistence. But strong relationships grow through working through challenges together, not avoiding them. Each resolved conflict builds a stronger bond. Each overcome obstacle creates deeper understanding. Look at how this plays out in education. Traditional schooling focuses on avoiding failure. Nevertheless, real learning happens when we embrace the possibility of failure, when we tackle problems just beyond our current abilities. That's why the best teachers don't just give answers. They create productive struggles for their students. The same goes for physical health. The comfortable approach is to do the minimum necessary to maintain your current state. Actual fitness comes from progressively challenging yourself. Each workout should push slightly beyond your previous limits. That's not punishment, it's the path to power. In business, those who truly succeed don't just find a profitable niche and stick to it. They constantly innovate, take calculated risks, face new challenges. Amazon didn't stop at selling books. Netflix didn't stick to mailing DVDs. They kept pushing boundaries, seeking new resistances to overcome. So how do we maintain this pursuit of power without burning out? Remember how we started, questioning whether the pursuit of happiness was making you miserable? Now you understand Nietzsche's radical solution. Power isn't about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself. And true happiness? It's not something you chase. It's what happens while you're growing stronger. Let me leave you with 3 practical ways to start applying this wisdom today. First, look at the challenges in your life differently. That difficult project at work? That complicated relationship? That skill you're struggling to master? These aren't obstacles to your happiness. They're opportunities to build power. Stop trying to avoid resistance and start seeing it as your path to growth. Second, audit your goals. Are they really yours, or are they what others expect of you? Are they meaningful enough to fuel sustained growth? Remember Nietzsche's 4 criteria: meaningful, challenging, excellence promoting, and authentically yours. If your goals don't meet these standards, they won't build real power. Third, embrace the eternal cycle. When you achieve something, don't rest on your laurels. Celebrate briefly, then ask yourself, what's the next level? What's the next challenge? What part of myself am I ready to overcome? This isn't about being perpetually dissatisfied. It's about staying in constant growth. Think about someone learning to play an instrument. First, they master basic chords, then simple songs, then complex pieces. Each achievement opens the door to new challenges, new forms of resistance, new opportunities for growth. That's not just how you become a musician, it's how you become yourself. The beauty of Nietzsche's insight is that it works whether you're building a business, raising a family, creating art, or pursuing any other meaningful goal. The principle remains the same. Power grows through resistance. Happiness follows growth. The journey is the destination. If this resonates with you, start today. Look at the biggest challenge in your life right now. Instead of asking, "How can I get past this?" ask, "How can this make me stronger?" Share in the comments what resistance you're ready to transform into power. And if you want to explore more insights from history's greatest minds, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Each week we'll uncover another powerful idea that could transform your life.